To the Worthy Collective. We're so glad that you're here. And one of our beautiful mentors, Tamra, is going to read about how sacred this space in the Worthy Collective is.
Welcome to the Worthy Collective. This isn't just a community, it's a sacred space for your soul to breathe again. A place where women from every walk of life come to rise in their health, wealth, faith, purpose, and presence. Here, there is no hierarchy, no comparison, no pretending. Only truth, only grace, only women remembering who they are together. We believe growth doesn't have one timeline or one look. Some days it's rising boldly, other days it's resting bravely. Both are worthy, both are growth. You are not behind, you are not too late. You are right on time for your next becoming. In this space, you'll find encouragement, accountability, and sisterhood that reminds you you can build your dreams without burning out. You can walk in faith, not fear. You can create a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. Welcome home to the Worthy Collective, where grace meets growth, purpose meets peace, and women rise side by side.
Ah, we're so lucky to have such a professional with your delivery. Oh my goodness. No wonder you are in voiceovers. Oh, we're so lucky. Would you like to share more about our beautiful Stacy, who would be our mentor tonight, who's teaching?
Sure, I'd love to. Stacey Duffie is a soul experience mentor. She's a holistic practitioner with over a decade of experience, along with unexpected life experiences that have guided her towards helping people reconnect with their mind, body, and soul. At one point in her own journey, Stacey felt deeply lost and alone, so disconnected from herself that she nearly lost who she was. That experience became a turning point in her life and is the reason she is so passionate about helping others find their way back to themselves. Through her work in intuitive toe reading, Stacey brings soul to soul, focusing on the whole person rather than just one piece of the puzzle. She believes our bodies hold powerful stories, and when we take the time to listen, we can uncover clarity, healing, and transformation. Beyond her professional work, Stacey is also a proud mom of 5 amazing daughters. Her life experiences have deeply shaped the compassionate and grounded way she supports others as they grow, heal, and rediscover the strength and light within themselves. Welcome to Stacey.
Yay!
Thank you, Tam. That was beautiful. All
Mhm.
right, I am going to share my screen with my slides that I did. So bear with me because I have to click share first, and then I think I have to share it on my, get it bigger on my screen too. Okay, can you see that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, no. Nope, it's not working. Shoot. All right, let's see why it wouldn't let me share it. Darn it.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay,
You.
that's not how I wanted it,
Yay!
but okay, okay.
Click present.
And oh, I think this is covering it. Okay, good now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Oh, good job.
Yes.
thanks. Thank you. Okay, whoops. Okay, so tonight we are talking about protecting the vision. As I was getting ready for this, I was really like, wow, I picked this one because this is something that I have been really struggling with of protecting my vision and staying on course and not letting myself get distracted. So earlier this week, I was working and I am in a machine that I have to manhandle basically. And this one part of the machine is getting tighter and tighter. So I put my foot on the machine, pull this thing off, and as I come up, there's a metal piece hanging out that clipped me in the top of my head, brought me to my knees in tears. I thought I was going to pass out. Had a small little gash on my forehead. Jordan was coming up. Jordan works with me, my daughter. She's coming up, freaking out. And I just looked at her and I said, could you just shut up? because I like could not think of anything else because the pain was just so instant that once I got to ice and all of that stuff, and the whole time I'm like, what did I do to myself? This is not what I want to do. This is not how I want. I enjoy what I'm doing, but there's lots of risks that I need to protect myself against. Um, and most of the time, it is myself that I need to protect protection against because I'm moving too fast and I end up making short little mistakes. That one wasn't totally my fault, but it was a big wake up call. It was like, bam, hey, what are you doing to make this, better, move in the direction that you're looking to go into? So I decided I'm really going to dive into this protecting the vision. So here we go. Guard what God or your heart has planted within you. Have you ever noticed that summer doesn't usually destroy our dreams? It distracts us from them. With longer days, vacations, weddings, more invitations. None of these things are bad, but little by little, they can steal our momentum. What is a vision? A vision is your purpose, your calling, your healthiest self, your future, the person you're becoming. Dreams don't disappear overnight, they fade through neglect. We all have distractions, and it just depends on how you handle them. Distractions aren't always bad, they are simply good things at the wrong time, comfortable habits, fear disguised as busyness. That one I can really relate to. And other people's priorities before our own. Greg McCowan said, if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will, which is very, very true. Oop, I gotta go back to this one for a second. Okay. Instructions are in. Okay. So I'm sure you all have seen um, the teacher who is presenting a jar with rocks, pebbles, and sand to his class. And he's saying that this jar is your life, and it's all about how you put things in, because if you put the sand in first, you can't get the big things in. So the big things in our life, the big rocks, are our health, our faith, our relationships, our promises, and our dreams. And if we don't take care of those first, there isn't going to be any room for them with everything else that we put on our plate. Like our pebbles, which are the smaller rocks, those are all of our responsibilities. And then the sand is mindless scrolling, worry, fear, gossip, all those things, TV, just endlessly in the background, which I've really noticed that I have it on more for noise than anything else anymore. So I've even switched to turning that off and telling my friend that's over here on the shelf to play something. I'm not going to say her name because she will suddenly just burst on stage. Um, and I give her different genres of how I'm feeling, and she's been playing music, and it's really been resonating with me and moving some of those distractions. This one really resonated with me. It says, weeds grow without permission. No one plants weeds. They simply grow wherever. Nothing is intentionally cultivated. Because everybody looks at these as these are weeds. We got to kill them. We got to get rid of them. But, they're lasting. Nobody's doing anything, but they're actually food for us. We're finding out now. Well, we knew a long time ago, our ancestors did, but we are getting reacquainted now with how good the dandelion is for our body and what it can do. It's really good for liver and all of that. And they're also really annoying, but they are pretty when they have their little blooms on them with their little, whatever those things are that you blow away and make a wish. Um, I always forgot the name they call them in Ginny June. Ginny Junes in Ireland is what they call them. And it's a
Mm,
wish that you make. Very interesting.
oh, sweet.
But our minds are the same. If we don't intentionally grow through gratitude, discipline, purpose, then distractions naturally grow. I like this quote from Bruce Lee: "The successful warrior is the average person with laser like focus."
Mm, nice. Yes.
Every dream begins fragile. Before it becomes a tree, it needs protection when you're planting seeds or planting a tree. Protect your vision from doubt, overcommitment, constant comparisons, perfection, and negative voices. Ooh, back here, this one. About Sorry about that. Okay. Next one. So with the magnifying glass, did you know that sunlight can warm your skin all day long? But when focused through a magnifying glass, it can start a fire.
Mm,
The sunlight didn't become stronger, it became focused. Our lives are exactly the same. Scattered energy keeps us busy, focused energy changes everything. I do have a summer challenge before I do the closing, and the summer challenge is for the next 7 days, do one small change. Choose one distraction, examples like TV after dinner, social media, etc. Replace it with reading, a prayer, journaling, going for a nice walk, meditation, or planning for tomorrow.
mhm.
Where focus goes, energy flows. That's from Tony Robbins, and I've heard several people use that reference in some of their teachings. Protecting your vision isn't about striving harder or becoming perfect. It's about remembering who you're becoming and choosing each day to give your attention to what aligns with that person. Summer will pass. The question isn't whether we enjoyed it, it's whether we continued becoming the person we were called to be. One intentional choice at a time, we protect the vision. And I have a reflection exercise. Ask yourself, what deserves more of my focus this season? What has quietly stolen my peace? What one thing can I release this week? Where am I spending energy instead of investing it? And you can do that on your own at a later time, or if anyone already has filled any of those out and wants to share, I'd love to hear from you. what has stolen my peace has been my fear to move forward. It's just been the fear of that next step. And I know that the next step is great. I know that there's something better there, but it's just pushing through that fear, which Maggie worked with me a lot this week on that, on helping me get over some of those barriers. I did a lot of work this weekend in a very short period of time, which I was very proud of myself for doing all of that. That
Right,
was
girl. That's
that
right.
was amazing. Yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes.
And you know what the biggest part was? What would you say, Stace, was the if you were to give a few shares from what were the steps that you did in order to be now on the other side? I mean, I know it's not all like completely mapped out and like lit up like you're completely ready and mapped yet. Your tone is different, your presence is different, your like delivery today is so calm and peaceful.
Hmm.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really believe that it's just a season that I'm stepping into. During all of this, I was doing a lot of astrological reading of, my signs, my houses, all of that stuff. Um, I did do a tongue release, which they say your tongue is attached to your groin area or your reproductive area. And the
Interesting.
guy, I did it sitting on the couch. You take your tongue, you take a like a washcloth and you pull your tongue out and you twist it. So if you twist it to the right, you turn your head to the left and you breathe through it for like four, and then you do the other side. And the release was amazing, like amazing. I was shocked. I do have it. I can send it. I sent it to Maggie. There's that. And then,
Hold on one second, Stace. Stop
yes,
your share so we can see you.
how do I
On
can't
the
get it.
on the bottom where it should say stop the share, or on the top there's a little button, little green
Oh,
button.
oh,
You can
stop.
stop
That,
sharing.
that, that red one right up there,
Yay,
right in
you
front of
did it.
my face.
Okay, no, I just think it
It's got
would,
to be shown. That's it.
I'm
oh
looking
good.
down
Gotta be-
here, like when you get down
Yeah,
here and it says share and all that.
it's a
Yeah,
little one at the
It's okay.
top.
gotta
Yeah,
have the experience and the
here I
changes are.
am.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Grace for the pace, honey.
we all had to learn it somehow. It's okay.
Okay.
I was
So,
saying, so recap the steps. You reached out.
I reached out and I wanted to several times. I mean, Lori, you reached out to me, and there was one time that I was like so close to just being like, "Bleh, word vomit. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. So thank you for reaching out, Tam. You also. Um, I had to be ready. That's who I am. But I also, realize that I cannot do everything myself, and I'm trying to really stop. I'm working on not doing that anymore. I'm asking for more help at work also. Yeah, I don't want to do it myself anymore. And that is
You're
one thing that I've come
you're
to.
breaking a pattern, honey, that you've had for
Yes.
decades.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
hard.
great, and you're aware
Yes.
of it. That was shifting.
Mhm.
When I thought about this whole transformation, I figured it was going to be slow and easy.
Silly you.
Silly
But
you.
silly,
You.
I
yo.
swear sometimes it's like,
My,
gosh, I feel like I can't get my foot out of the mud. And then all of a sudden I'm like up to my neck and then I'm out on top of it and then I'm back in it. I'm like, what is going on? And I told Maggie, I feel like I'm losing
She's not going to
cognitive
say it. She's not
crap.
going to say it. She's not
No,
going to
she told
say
me
it.
I
She
can't
kept
say it.
saying it on our
But like
calls,
I
like,
just
sister. Ah!
like this, like there's a tornado going on inside me. You know what I mean? I'm just, yeah, very
and
anxious and yeah, things that I've not experienced in a while, and it was making me very shut in. So I've been, sitting on my little porch outside for, at least 10 minutes a day into the sunshine trying to find, not trying, finding things that make me happy, whether it's going to the store and buying a cheap bouquet of flowers and having it on my counter, or washing my car because it's dirty and it needs it, or, mowing my lawn. I mowed my lawn yesterday. I don't have a weed whacker, and the edges were looking really bad because I can only get so close with that lawnmower. So I took my scissors out there and I snipped
Oh, hey, you did.
How cathartic,
the
though. It's
back
like,
of my, oh, it was, but my back of my thighs were on fire because I was like crouched, squatted, crouched down. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm too old for this. But it was like when I came inside, I was like, wow, I was just outside for like an hour and 45 minutes. And it didn't feel like that. When I came in, it did because from being out there and then the
well, you got to
air. So,
replenish, but at the same time, if you're moving in ways that you haven't moved in a while, it reminds you you can, first of all,
yes.
you can
Yeah.
maintain it or,
Yes.
use it or lose it, as they say. But then, of course, come in and replenish. I mean, it's a rhythm, right? And it's like you're out of rhythm.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is it right there, out
Yeah.
of rhythm. I
Yeah.
so I had a moment yesterday where my friend Ronnie at work was like, "Hey, do you know what that guy's name is at R5? They all have like these letter names." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Joe." And he's like, "That's not Joe." And I said, "That's Joe." And he's like, "No, Joe's at R4." And I said, "No, I swear that guy's name is Joe. I know that's Joe, but that's Joe." And I'm horrible with names. So he's like, "I don't think you're right." So I go running down there and I'm like, "Hey, Joe." And the guy looks at me, I go, "Is your name Joe?" And he goes, "No, it's Gary." I go,
Oops. Oops.
"I've been calling you Joe." He goes, "It's okay. My dad always called me Joe. He never called him Gary. He only called him Joe."
See, girl, you were
And I
You were
channeling
tuned in.
and I said
something.
that this take this as a message from your dad. He goes, "Huh,
Oh, yes, girl.
okay."
Oh my.
Yeah, you were
So
tuned in.
yes. Yes,
Oh.
yes, yes.
Well, I want
Okay.
to say the thing that you said that struck me is the overcommitment. And because it's not, for me, I'm always trying to guard my time so that I can spend my time. But today, as I was listening to, another person give me, hey, I'll get back to you with a proposal, I was like, you know what? I got to worry about financial overcommitment too. I don't want to be spending more to get in. And, it's so I was like, so protecting my vision. I'm protecting my vision by organically growing at the pace that I need to and resist that urge to just put too much either on my time or my finances. And that is something that struck me. So I will definitely be looking for things, 7 things, for the, one thing a day for the next 7 days. And really with our step up challenge, that is going to replace some of my distractions for sure and getting out and getting moving. So it's going to help a lot. Even though I have to time it just right with the weather. I'm just not going to be able to get up at 4:30 and out the door by 5 a.m. with my husband and the dog. There's just no way.
Ladies, I'm telling you, walk around the house.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
I do. Yeah. I mean, even if I just walk
Telling-
around, literally walk around the house, even if I just do that. So, but
Yeah.
I'm
I
walking up and
walk in
down.
my house.
I mean, I'm running in place at
Yeah.
night.
I
I
just want to
mean,
get outside and
yeah.
breathe
Well,
the air, non-air
Yeah.
conditioned air.
Right. I
So,
agree with you on that.
So this is really, I'm just smiling. I've got my notes from church. I didn't take my notebook, which I feel like it's my little everything because I love having my journal with me. Um, and it was the back of the camp flyer. And I'm literally seeing this and thinking, because Tam, what you just said, oh my gosh. So in my notes, the message yesterday was talking about your time, your talent, and your treasures.
and your what? What's the third one?
treasure.
Treasure.
Treasure. Okay.
So time, talent, and treasure. Treasure is where your heart will be. So being able to ask yourself, where is your time? how are you using your talent? And which turns into treasure, and that treasure you either keep for yourself or you pay it forward.
Right.
And we have the opportunity to live in freedom when we are aligned with our God-given talents. To literally being able to recognize how we are so unique, like our thumb, our fingerprints are so different from each other, yet so similar, you know, and how we utilize those and the opportunity that we have to choose and how fortunate we are that we can choose. And that was such a beautiful message in really zoning in on that vision that we have for ourselves. And when it doesn't seem clear, ring ring, hello? Hello? And I feel like I say this every single day, Tam, that there's feedback you can use and there's feedback you can
Lose.
use and there's feedback you can lose. And when you do call someone, it's someone that you respect, you trust, and you know that they are going to be honest. And there's somebody that you would trade places with, that you admire, because we love that phone call. Like I loved knowing that you were willing to ask, Stace. It's such a beautiful gift, but I also know as women, it's the biggest phone call to make. But it's also where the devil does the most work. Blah, 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 blah. You don't need them. You don't need this. Blah, 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 blah. And then we just start shrinking. And then all of a sudden, 1 hour becomes a day, and 1 day becomes a week, and 1 week becomes a month. And then we push back on the treasure of what we can give and how we can serve, and that value add that is so beautiful. But and something that has been with me, and I didn't look it up to properly give credit who actually said this, because I believe I've heard this multiple times from multiple places. Brace yourself with this one. What you resist will persist.
Hmm.
So it's an acknowledgement of that resistance. And we know what it is we're resisting. It's usually the F word, fear. And because we're women of faith, dang, oh, dang, faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. I had to say it to a client this week. I'm like, sister, it's as if you've forgotten that the faith is alive and well, because there's so much worry that you're missing out on the blessings of faith and the miracle. Oh my goodness, guys. There are miracles abundant. Yet sometimes when we think of miracles, we think grandiose and blah, so fancy. Well, there's little tiny miracles. Little tiny miracles. You got to ground yourself. Lori got to have some sunshine. Karen sold a home on wheels. And that was a process in and of itself, you know? Like those are little finding somebody to connect the dots and like carry that away, like whew. Like, back in the day, how hard it was to do the things that we do today, you know, because we only had newspapers, we only had small amounts of communication, and now we have a major abundancy. So I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I thank you, Stace, for sharing all the way back to being brought to your knees, that we would never want you to be brought to your knees, especially any kind of pain. Yet that pain to your head is literally like like recognizing what's happening, that's for us, not to us, and that you signed up to share the message today, and how beautiful that journey's been to allow yourself to step in, and the grace that you've given yourself and the calmness. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
All right.
That's
I like
really
to share that I'm also, yeah, less time wasting and more walking I'm really excited to have this app, and that and you all are connected with it. So, and
It's
Tam, I wanted to bring.
accountability. That's
Yes,
accountability, Lori.
girl. Oh my gosh. Like, what in the world? I had like freaking 60,000 steps last week. Like, what in the world? Like, I never even thought I could do that. So it's like so
And
great.
not have your feet fall off.
Right?
Right. My legs are sore, but I got, yeah.
A
So,
good
but
story,
anyway,
though.
it's amazing with accountability. And Tam, I wanted to bring it to your attention. Feedback you can use, feedback you can lose. You said, I am frugal. What about, honey, you are abundant. I am abundant.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
am
mean?
abundant.
So
Yeah,
wherever you got, I am frugal, that's,
release that.
yeah, because
Good
money
catch,
shows up.
Lori.
Yeah, money shows up, honey. Yeah.
You like
We
grab that and
are
you're like,
abundant. We are abundant. We are
Yeah,
rich. We are all of that. Money shows up in all the ways that we need it.
good
So
catch. Good catch.
and that's something that Stacy and I were talking
we're
about, and
here
it's
for
part
each
of
other.
the Kickstart for, I think I'd have to look back to my notes. And Karen, I'm not sure if I've ever done this with you. Yeah, for anyone who watches this replay, this is something that when you are faced with challenges and you start replaying the garbage story, of whatever your story is, whatever you're resisting that's negative versus positive, that's less abundant, that you know that something is greater on the other side, make a list of what you have accomplished, the classes you've taken, the yeses you've had that have taught you or, introduced you to people or things, the things you've learned, like a full on, and I'll make sure that we have a PDF of this, and it's your timeline to really go back and see those successes. And so many times it would be your degree. You went to college and you got a degree. Awesome. What else? You joined a local event. You went to a networking event. You went to a new church. You walked up to another woman and complimented her. I mean, we're talking from something as simple as that little compliment all the way to something that you learned from. Something bigger in a space where you've said yes. Or it could be the list of where you've graciously declined. I've graciously declined all these things because I knew my time and treasure was needed somewhere else. The boundaries that Tamara had on her time and her church environment, which, guys, let's just be honest, that can be one of the hardest places to say no when we're driven by our heart, our faith, and the church is such a special place. And for her to step in and say, this is where I'm available, this is what's possible because of her skill set in the sound and all the things, that we could just like handcuff ourselves and be like, sure, anything for anyone, anywhere. And then we're lost right back to that pit, that hole that we've dug, and we're stuck in the mud. So recognizing that resume, that beautiful list that you keep and you put it in your phone, you journal it, you give yourself all your wins, all your experience, all the treasures that are not necessarily physical, yet that joy and that opportunity, so that you can remind yourself of all those possibilities that you've stepped into. And then you can use the outline that Stacy's given us tonight to really have more clarity so that you can have that provision. So we're going to stop the video because we have conversations outside of what's on the record. So we missed you, and we hope that you will join us live.